recorders on now. Tito, is yours. Hey team, how's it going? It's November the 14th. My name is Dan Allen. We have our partner, Mr. Tito Avila, as our captain of the ship today. Mr. Avila, the ship is yours, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Allen. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day out here, feeling good, feeling very juiced, very excited. Just want to confirm everybody can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Excellent. Just getting my bearings here. I want to make sure I can see everything clearly on the screen. I don't have to worry about letting anybody in here. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so we're roughly 1 minute from the hour. So I'm just gonna finish getting stuff set up here and we'll go ahead and begin. If you have any questions, those of you that are already with us, please go ahead and drop them in the chat or you can raise your hand and we'll go ahead and begin here shortly. Let's talk pips. Yes, Mr. Rambis, we are about to talk pips. Feeling real good. There's a lot of stuff in the pipeline that's on the way. I don't know if y'all can see this beard that's coming in right here. It's not the most kept at the moment, and I think you might know why, Mr. Allen. But it's all good because it's all going to pay off very soon. So let me get this back up. Okay. Yeah, sometimes with the screen share, for whatever reason, the camera, let's see, the video panel, sometimes it's, oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see it. Perfect. All right, got it. All right, we're good to go now, everybody. Let's get into it. What do you got on your mind? You want to talk about some pairs, some trades, some 101 on 20 pips and dip and whatnot. Please go ahead and unmute yourself, or you can type it in the chat or raise your hand, whichever is good.
Tito, I don't have a question. I just wanted to kind of make an observation of the market because I've never, obviously, with Epic, this is my first experience trading during election season. And the week of the election, I can see that the volatility in the marketplace was yielding some massive amounts of pips. I don't know if it was because, of course, I'm not that skilled to know and understand it yet. I just know that there was so much movement. There's a lot of money being made, but I can understand on a higher level, there's probably a lot of manipulation happening with the bigger institutions as well, right? Just speaking to that, the signals we got were of high value. All of them weren't winning trades. I already know that. But what I traded based off the signals this week, I know I would have never been able to do on my own, so there's so much value in the signals. But can you speak to, have you ever traded in an election season before? And maybe even Dan can speak to it because I know he's been trading for a while. There was a lot of money being made in the market. And I just wanted everybody to know the value of our signals, even at any time, right? But I think last week there was some folks getting paid.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a testament to the quality of the dream team that is creating these signals, because it has been extremely volatile. There's obviously been a lot of uncertainty in the market. I myself, I have not traded in these markets in an election season, and especially not during one like this one. I think we can all agree this is an extremely unique circumstance. And, I would venture to guess that in the seasons where there was a clear winner, so to speak, we would have seen probably a different type of movement and different patterns in the market. Monday, for example, was a very, let's say, a clean day in the market where the market had a clear general direction because at that moment in time, there was less uncertainty with regard to the results, let's say, of the election. But it's been, let's just say, kind of holding the line and just going a little bit back and forth since things are very much still up in the air right now. So yeah, I would say, if you can, if you understand the market well enough to make money at this time and under these circumstances, you can probably do it anytime. But I'll pass it to Mr. Allen to offer his input because I'm sure he has some with regard to election seasons. Oh, you're muted, sir.
As I'm listening to you, Rambus, I'm hearing a U.S.-based philosophy. What's that? Let's go ahead and make sure everybody else muted. That was wacky. So as I'm listening to you, Rambus, hold on. Yeah, who's not? Let's start muting people. Let's not even play the game. Matter of fact, let's go to all people are muted but can unmute themselves. I'm gonna take responsibility for that, right? So what I hear, Rambus, first is that a U.S.-based person is working to apply the way you're thinking, which is smart, to a global currency, right? To a global market. So there are two ways to approach the market. One is from a technical analysis, right, which is just the chart itself, and one is from a fundamental analysis, which is what's happening in the actual the news and things like that. So looking at the election would be a fundamental consideration, and the way our signals work, which is the magic of them, is a lot of the analysis and filtering through the entire market is already being done, and the focal point is put to where the actual trade is. But to have this conversation that we're having, we got to go that the election was a U.S.-based event, which would affect the U.S. dollar directly, and so there would be about 7 pairs that on the majors and crosses, or the majors, which would be highly affected during that fundamental event, right, which is the election. But if you went to the New Zealand Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Aussie New Zealand, right, that might not have moved at all. So from a trading perspective, this would be like if something was happening in Japan and the Japan pairs were moving because of something fundamental in that economy, right? And each economy is going to have its own fundamental stuff. So this is my first US election process, but I was in the market during Brexit. And during Brexit, which is a Great British Pound fundamental event, the pound was moving crazy, right? And so there are some automatic reoccurring news events that you should pay attention to being a trader if you're not leaning on the live trading sessions and the trade alerts. This just happened to be a US based fundamental thing that was non-news related, meaning that it wasn't the CPI or the GDP or the interest rates. So there's always fundamental stuff happening, and then to higher or lower degrees, depending on what that country is. So one of the magic things about trading is you could actually, like right now, we're looking at the euro pound. You could actually look at what's happening in those both of those economies and see is there any fundamental things going on that could create volatility, right? And then to your point, the fact that all of these other mitigating circumstances or things to evaluate is already being considered by our coaches, and you can skip that level of education and then just learn how to follow the trades is magic. So that's my answer, sir.
It was most certainly magic. Not just from the pips that I caught, but I know it was a lot of other people catching the signals as well. So I just wanted to throw the value proposition of the signals, even in like Tito said, a market that there's a lot of unsurety and fear and what have you.
Right.
Folks were catching pips based off of this amazing system we have. That was my whole comment. I wasn't more than anything, I just wanted to state that, guys, but I appreciate your insight. I'm sure it gave value, not just to me, but everybody else. And I'll shut up and let the Q&A flow.
Hey, this is Queen. I just want to say something because both of you are right on point. When we're dealing with, even though I'm in the business as a licensed financial advisor.
Queen, this isn't the platform for that.
Right.
If you have a question, by all means, ask it. But this isn't that platform. Do me a favor, Tito. Go to the DXY so we can see what the dollar did over the week.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to just briefly, I had mentioned Monday, and just to show you real quick, briefly, this nice little spike you see right here, this was Monday. And this is a testament to the fact that even if you want to sort of, let's say, bypass what's happening in the US, fundamentally, there is a threshold, there's a point where you can't really escape it because it really is the world currency, unofficially speaking. So this right here, you're going to see it across many pairs on that particular day. And it was a good day that I happened to be in the market. And you guys, Mr. Rambis and Alan know about that. And that was pretty serious. So we'll see what this next week brings. But looking at the DXY, let me just turn off 20 pips and dips so we can see it more clearly. There we go.
Set it to the daily. So for Mr. Rambis's point. So what's that? The one with the heavy wick. What date is that? Two back.
This one right here?
That one. No, the one back, the other one.
Oh, this guy?
That one. So that's November the 4th, the actual election day.
That's right.
And so you can see that at some point price was all the way up at the top of that wick. And so and then from there it dropped down to finish out the day low. And then the next day it went straight down, and the next day it went straight down. So that's that volatility that Mr. Rambis is talking about. We can actually, because it's a U.S. Phenomenon, right? It was our election versus Brexit. You can actually see what happened to the dollar and every day. So this is the actual dollar itself. But open it up to questions, Tito.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
to that point, now you got me asking a question. I'm sorry, I got to jump in here. So to this DXY, because I've been really wanting to learn more about the DXY, and I'm glad we're on this conversation. So with that, the index, is it a basket of currencies that we're pairing the USD against, or like we would if this was UJ, right? The US dollar yen being paired against each other. The index itself, is the dollar being compared against how many currency pairs? How many basket? How many in the basket? My question.
So right now, nothing's in the basket right now. This is just the dollar, right? So this is just the strength of the dollar. So on November the 4th, so the way you would use this is that when you go to the UJ, right? The UJ is the two pairs being compared against each other. So right now we know that on November the 4th and November the 5th, the dollar just dropped, right? So unless the yen had a worse drop, then this pair should go down because the dollar's in the front right? So the dollar is on the UJ, the currency in the front, the whatever it is, it's the one that's reflecting the movement of the chart. Okay, so when you're looking at the UJ, you're seeing what is the dollar doing versus the yen, right? That's the whole conversation. And now we get to take a sneak peek to see what the dollar's doing by itself. So we know the dollar. So on this chart, right? If the dollar's going up, I want you to think the dollar's going towards strength. And if the chart is going down, I want you to think the dollar is going to weakness, okay? So on November the 4th and November the let me have the do you have the Tito, do you have the Premier or just the basic? The trading view.
The premium.
Premium, okay. So go to the split screen. So up to your right there. Yeah, go to 2. Right.
I'm gonna do the top and bottom one right here.
Okay, perfect. So on one of them, go to dollar yen on a daily as well.
Let me just expand it so I can see more clearly. There we go. There it is.
Okay, so Rambus, so now so if you notice the vertical line is on the same date on you know where, Tito, where you at? Where your cursor at? Okay, you can see the vertical line is on both, right? At the same exact spot. So the vertical line tracks both of them. So now on the 4th, when the dollar was dropping like a rock, you got the huge wicks on the 4th as well. So this would have been a terrible day in the market, depending on what time you got in during that day. So while the dollar's dropping on the actual chart is going back and forth, so you now know the yen must be doing some dropping as well. Then on the next day, the actual 5th, as you can see, the dollar's dropping is clearly as much as the yen must be going to strength while the dollar's going to weakness. And I don't want to confuse y'all, but so the Rambus, the index is giving you an inside scoop on one of the two currencies that's at back.
Yeah, and if I may kind of continue that thread, so the index, the way I look at it, when you look at a currency pair, it's basically what you're looking at is, right, the strength of one currency against another. The index itself is that currency, in this case DXY is obviously US dollar index, versus multiple currencies at different weights. Okay, so it is the strength of that one currency, and there is also a formula for the strength of that particular index. The reason why the DXY is so valuable and reliable is because of the formula that comes with it. And I just pulled up real fast what the percentages are. The euro is the vast majority of the weight that you're testing the dollar against on the DXY, and that's 57.6% of the movement that you're seeing on the DXY is the euro. And that's one reason why I love trading EU, is because the DXY gives you an extremely reliable sort of mirror, right, of what's happening and what will happen. In other words, if you chart both of them simultaneously, you might see things on one that you don't see on the other, but they are relevant to each other, right? They're reflecting each other. And then after that, the yen has 13.6%, and then the pound at 11.9%, and Canadian dollar, and so on, and it drops. So that's important. Now, Mr.
Does it have a total? I'm sorry, Tito. Is it a total number of currencies in that index, though? Is there a set number, or is it just taking the biggest ones in the world?
It's euro, yen, pound, Canadian dollar, Swedish krona, and Swiss franc. That's it. But at the bottom of the list, they're very small percentages of weight. Okay.
Euro just being the dominant one. Okay.
Yeah, euro's at almost 58%. So that's the vast majority of the movement you're seeing on the DXY.
All right. So can you do me a favor?
Euro dollar.
Yeah, there you go, Dan. Thank you. That's what I was gonna ask. Can you change?
No. Keep the DXY up.
Yeah, and show the euro dollar versus the index now, instead of the yen.
Put the index back on the bottom and the euro on the top, because Now we
Okay.
just switched how it's even looking to the people that was watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Euro dollar. There you go.
So I'm going to put this up against it so you can kind of see how it mirrors. You see that?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to see visually and understand the
So
how they are actually how they actually
now,
work together.
now this one though, Rambus, the dollar's on the back end, right? So the euro is dictating the direction of the chart. So as the DXY is going down, you will want to see the euro chart going up.
The correlation
Where
is
on the
opposite. Absolutely. I'm with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is good stuff, y'all. I love it.
And so from a daily perspective, if you go back to the fourth, Tito, no, right there where you at, just bring it, yeah, right there. We're bringing a line. You see that same heavy wick to the top going down on the DX. You see that wick to the bottom going up to the euro dollar. Then on the next day, when on the 5th, where the DXY is dropping like a rock, you see the euro USD going up like a rocket. So that's that correlation perspective.
Hey, I got a quick question. I heard you guys say EU and UJ. What is that?
So your EU would be the slang version for the euro being the E, USD being the U, and UJ is the slang version of saying USD JPY. So when people get super comfortable, instead of saying euro dollar, they go to just UJ.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Tito, can you take this down to the hour chart for both of them to see how on the 4th how they broke down?
All right.
Because most people wouldn't trade the daily. That's
Right. Yeah.
Any other questions? And it doesn't have to be about this. So we don't take one question becoming the topic of the whole event. This is your question from you, being in the market or trading or whatever your question is.
Yeah, I had a lot of people brand new this week asking me trading questions, and I directed them here to have those questions answered because I'm certainly not an epic master trader. And you guys are our team's master trader. So again, we appreciate what you bring every Saturday, and make sure you guys, all of us as students, make sure you're giving your teams the value that we bring here, letting them know about this Saturday morning Q&A, and don't feel any way, shape, or form that there's a dumb question. So whether it's about your broker account or your back office issues, all trading related, everybody is welcome. So
Like
fire
Mr.
away.
Taylor, Mr. Taylor has a question. Is there any correlation between DXY and US 30? I haven't looked, to be honest with you, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was. We can take a look now if you'd like. US 30 is an index in and of itself that has obviously a totally different formula that is now taking into account corporate movement. Mr. Allen, I don't know if you have something to add to that.
Nah, hold on. Let's see what it do. Just change the euro dollar to the US 30, and then let's see what it do.
This is on the hourly.
Yeah, but it looks like no, right? Well, maybe. I would say no. I wouldn't play with that right there.
I mean, you can kind of see, like, for example, here on the Monday that I was talking about, how things.
Yeah, but you can see that the time is different. Like that I can't. Let me see. Okay. Look at that run in the middle at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On the DXY, it doesn't show up on the US 30. Like 8 o'clock, or that's like 9:30 on the US 30.
Yeah, they're not. I wouldn't say they're correlated enough that you would want to use them as any type of confluence. Yeah, the formula is probably too different. But you know,
Because
you might
the US 30
see
is measuring. The US 30 is measuring companies
Right.
The DXY is measuring the dollar itself.
Right. Right. Yeah. You're going to see different movements based on different companies and different industries. Did somebody have a question?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
sir.
A minute ago, before you swapped up the charts, you had I think Euro USD and the DXY in comparison, and I was looking at it, and the charts were moving exactly like perfectly, like flipped upside down, right? So the question was, well, the question is, that means that if I could be in this market to be in, like, let's say when the Euro USD and one of those major drops was dropping, I could be in the sell in Euro USD and then be behind the DXY and still be making money.
I couldn't hear nothing you were saying. You were chopping up, but close as I can try to guess what you're saying. We don't use the DXY to place the trade on the DXY. We use the DXY to get a insight to what trade to place on the Euro USD. So when you're watching the DXY, and if you look at 11 a.m. on the DXY, it's running, it's bouncing off of. Is that the 50 for you, Tito? That those dots, is that the 50? Tito, those dots, what do they represent? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
It's the 50. He said it in the chat.
Okay, so if you're looking at the DXY Cisco, and you see that wick right about 11, and then it bounce up off of the 50, and it start running up for the Euro JPY, it should also be running up, and for the for the USD JPY, it should be going up, and then on the Euro USD, it should be going down, and that's understanding back to being clear on the correlation of it. So when you saw that hour chart start to run up, you would glance down at the the Euro USD, and it should be going down like it is.
All right, real quick. I'm sorry. One last question, right? Just based off what you just said, the DXY itself, I can't buy or sell it. It's just like a gauging thing.
That's not what we use it for. You may be able to, right? Okay. I don't know. I've never tried to trade the DXY. I'm telling you what the use of it is for, as we've applied it here. And then when you watch Coach Ryan, who uses it the most based off of me learning it, because I didn't have the DXY in my life this way before Epic or before meeting Coach Ryan, is he doesn't trade it. He charts it so he can get a strong indication on which way it wants to go. Then he looks at if you look at the Australian USD, the AU, he call it his Bay. He uses the DXY to get a direction, which is a bias. And once he gets that bias, he takes that bias over to the AU, right, the Australian dollar, US dollar, to look for his entries. So for here, because I want to be clear, we would have been looking at 11 o'clock. We watching it, like if you watch right 3 to the left of 11 o'clock, it's all about the same area. So that would be like a support. So we're saying, okay, we got a support, and now it bounced off the support and went north. So that would have you go looking at the Euro USD to go down. Or have you going to the Australian USD, it should go down. The US JPY should go up. The US CAD should go up. The pound USD should go down. And then as you keep watching that, it'll make whatever sense, because I'm telling you about a correlation. If the dollar's in the back, the chart should do the opposite of the DXY. If the dollar's in the front of the pair, it should do the same thing as the DXY.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Got it. Thank you.
I would say my primary day trading strategy is very similar to Coach Ryan's, and EU is my primary pair. So whenever I'm looking for patterns, and if you're using the fib strategy, the Fibonacci retracement strategy, for example, there are certain rules that you're going to follow based on patterns of the Fibonacci sequence. And what I find really interesting is once you get to understand that strategy well enough, you will find correlations between them. In many cases, as you're seeing it right now, you'll find exact movements on both of them. And then sometimes you don't. And when you don't see an exact movement that matches the other one, that right there is something to look at. So for example, if you see a retracement happening in a certain way on the DXY and it's not reflecting.
Tito, what's a retracement? Now you're training. So what is a retracement? I'm new here. You're talking Fibonacci. I've never heard of it. So what is that? And what is tracement?
Yeah, retracement.
Take us all the way through it.
It just means that price pulls back.
He pauses.
Yeah, he always frozen.
Basics, epic trainings, live sessions, specifically with Coach Ryan, then you'll find that the correlations between these two can be really powerful, especially if you see one-on-one and not the other. That's telling you whatever is pending on, let's say, the DXY is going to happen on the euro. There's a very good chance. And that's one of the ways that I personally trade.
Do me a favor, Tito. There's 7 pairs that go to the dollar. Can you, like how you got the Euro USD as one, can you walk us through? I mean, not talk us through, just change it so we can look at each one of them next to the
compared
DXY.
To the DXY?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you go to the Australian dollar, USD?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Can you go to the JPY? There you go. Perfect. And we're doing this now, y'all, because we're recording this. So as you watch the replay or however it needs to go, you can pause it and look at it for yourself. Or if you got the premium account, can you go to the NZD USD? So the Euro USD, JPY USD, Australian USD, and New Zealand USD. These are the 4 pairs where the dollar's on the back. So you're looking for the chart to be inverted from the DXY. And now can you go to the US CAD, USD CAD? And if you're watching the recording, just pause and you can evaluate it if you don't have the Premiere to be able to make the comparison. Okay. The USD Swiss franc. And this is what Coach Max calls chart time. Now we're doing some quick, fast chart time with you, but this is, so how Tito says he picked the Euro USD as the main pair for his day trading. He's done enough chart time where that's the conclusion he's come up with. And to Mr. Rambus's point, a lot of this stuff is our third way of approaching the market, which is coming in with your own trading ideas and picking which pair out of the 7 of the dollar pairs or the 28 of the majors and the crosses. That's when you come doing that all yourself. There's 2 other stages of this relationship before you even got to get to what we're talking about. One is following the trade signals, which Mr. Rambus kind of highlighted at the beginning, that he didn't take any of this stuff into consideration. We're talking about the coach said, the expert said, take this trade. He did whatever evaluation he had to do, and he took the trade. So you can just get good at following the trade alerts and then get to a result before this type of in-depth Fibonacci retracement understanding is necessary, right? You can just get good at following the trade alerts. Then how we're all referencing Coach Ryan in this particular this particular event is because we've been on enough live trading sessions to say, I trust this guy. You know what, this guy keep bringing up the DXY. Let's look into that some more on our chart time. So you can get on live trading sessions and then watch what they're doing. And right about now, 80% of the time, there's a trade to take right from the trading session. So we're at 11:31. Let's open it up for 2 more questions, Tito. Then let's do our round robin of closing out.
Yes, sir. So if you have questions, go ahead and unmute yourselves, or you can drop it in the chat. You can see here, this is interesting. USD JPY. I would say after all the ones we just glanced at, after
Right.
the euro, this one seems to be the one that follows the closest after the euro, which is interesting because
Absolutely.
it is the one on the list of weighted currencies against the DXY. It is the next one on the list. So
Okay. Any questions? Going once. Going twice. Mr. Ram, is there anything you want to let everybody know before we close out?
I don't see where there's a corporate training today, so I don't think you guys, unless I'm missing something, I just was checking for that. Didn't see the 1 o'clock normal corporate platform, but we still are on our blitz. So for those of you on the beast quadrant side, right, who are building the residual income side of the house, it's not required. So don't get frustrated that we promote it here. Of course, this is just a place where you can actually grow your team, and we are doing it every weekend as a blitz, 12 o'clock, 5 p.m. and 9 p.m., just like every single day, Monday through Friday at 12 and 9. So if you have some guests, please feel free to invite, get them on the noon, the 5 and the 9 p.m. Zoom that we'll be doing presentations on today and tomorrow. And of course, we have our Builders Academy for recognition tomorrow night, 8 p.m. This same Zoom opportunity link, 464 at 8 o'clock Eastern. The recruiting blitz, the daily opportunity blitz, that meeting ID is 777-434. Hang on one second. I got to get the last four. I have it here. 1 second, guys. That is forgive me 1 second, guys.
6287.
Why you look?
There you go, my man.
Yeah,
777-434-6287. I'll be hosting the noon Zoom here in about 25 minutes. Mr. Clemens will be this afternoon, and some other leaders, of course, plugging in all day today and tomorrow, 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern. Load it up with your guests. We'll do our best to get them into business. And again, I appreciate you, Tito and Dan. You guys are amazing. And this is the value that you bring out of your own spirit and heart to add more value to the overall team. So I'm forever indebted and appreciative of you two guys. And I'll turn it back over to you to close us out.
I have a quick question.
There is a success lab today. It's the ABCs of MLM. It's in the ENN Telegram chat.
I missed it. Okay, so that's at 1 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, guys. Make sure I missed that.
Hey,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Ramos.
Joanne. Thank you, Mr. Wood. That was also in the chat. Mr.
So
Ramos,
somebody had a
called
question. Somebody just called my name. I think that was Mr. Clemens.
That would be me. Hey, guys. Hey, great stuff on the trading, man. I feel like I just went back to college. The thing is that really what you guys do on Saturday is amazing. I love plugging into this platform. I'm learning so much. Dan, shout out to you. Tito, shout out to you guys and what you're doing, man. This is truly amazing. And so it's great to be able to plug into this part of the business as well, too. I didn't see the flyer for the Success Lab. Does somebody have that? Because I'd like to post that in the group.
They said it's in the ENN group, so it might be there.
ENN group. Let me find that.
Yeah, that's one of
On
the
Telegram.
Telegram.
Okay, the ENN group on Telegram. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it, man. And we appreciate everything you're doing.
Ms. Ward says she just sent it to you, Mr. Clemens. Or she said she will send it to you.
And there was a young lady who had a question, and let's get her question answered, and then we'll let you guys close us out.
Hi, guys. This is Janelle. I just wanted to double check. Is that a 50 EMA that you have there that you're using for trend?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Tito, is it not the 50 on our 20 pips and dip in the trading view account?
That's right. The 50 EMA is, let's say, the backbone of the 20 pips and dip strategy. That's the only one you'll see on 20 pips and dip.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Mhm.
I have nothing, Tito. Take us home.
Okay. All right. Thank you all once again for these questions. Always a learning experience for me, at least. Hope you guys got some value out of it. If you have any more questions or things you want to get into, please drop them in the GEP chat on Telegram. If you're not in that chat, please reach out to your sponsor or to Mr. Allen or Mr. Rambis or myself, and we will help get you in there. Other than that, have a beautiful weekend, and we will see you all again next week. God bless.